So by calculating these early start, early finish, late start, late finish for each one of the activities, now we can find the critical path. How do we find the critical path? So I'm going to take the difference between the early start and early finish, or the early finish and late finish. And I'm going to determine if it is going to be equal to 0, then I'm going to say there is the critical path. That is the critical path. Okay, so I'm going to take this activity and I can do late start minus early start, or I can take late finish minus early finish. And wherever it is 0, then I'm going to say that is where the critical path is. So first thing, I can see that 21 minus 21 is 0, 21 minus 21 is 0. So both this path and this path can be critical paths. 28 minus 28 is 0, 28 minus 28 is 0, or this path is good. This is good. If I take 26 minus 26 and 28 minus 28, this is good too. So this is good too. When I come here, this is where the problem comes. There is a difference between these two. Or there is a difference between late start and early finish, which is 31 minus 28 is 3. 36 minus 33 is 3. So this is absolutely not in the critical paths. So my critical path can be, there are two critical paths in this precedence diagram. So one critical path is A, C, F, G. The other critical path is A, B, D, F, G. Both of them, I can finish my project in 38 days. Okay, so the critical activities are going to be A, C, B, D, and F, and G. E is not in my critical path. There is a slack of 3 weeks. That means if I go this week, if I go from D to E, I'm going to be waiting for 3 weeks till I finish F. And that is what it means, that slack means. Okay, so by actually looking at the critical path, now I can say with these activities being in my critical path, I can put my resources there and I should be able to complete the project in 38 days. Sometimes activity times vary. Here we have a fixed activity time. So A has got 21 weeks. C has got 7 weeks, and so on and so forth. Okay, but sometimes it is not so. So at that time, we will estimate 3 values. One is the optimistic time, one is the pessimistic time, and the most likely time. And you can use these 3 times to come up with this particular time here. How do you do that? And that is called a PERT method, P-E-R-T method. So the PERT method gives you an estimated time. If A is the optimistic time, and if B is the pessimistic time, and M is the most likely time, I can calculate using this formula. A plus 4 times the most likely time plus B, which is the pessimistic time, divided by 6. That gives you my estimated time. And this will be like 21 that I used before in my previous example. The variance of these activity times can also be calculated. I can calculate the variance using the optimistic time and the pessimistic time, B minus A, divided by 6 whole squared. That gives you my variance. My standard deviation of these activities is going to be square root of sigma squared. Okay, that gives you my standard deviation. I can calculate the standard deviation as well. Okay. So PERT method gives you the flexibility of using optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely time to find an estimated time, and also to find the variances within activities or standard deviations within activities. I can calculate the PERT method this way. Let's say for design a activity A, my A is 10, B is 28, and M is 33. So my expected time is 21. That is 10 plus 4 times 22 plus 28 divided by 6. That comes to 21. My activity variance is going to be 9. Okay, I can calculate both the variance, and then from the variance, standard deviation is going to be 3, and the expected time is going to be 21. I can calculate it that way as well. So that completes the chapter 5, and I will be asking you some questions in chapter 5 for the exam, but I will not be doing any analytical work. So you don't need to calculate anything, but you need to know what is PERT, what is CPM, what is an activity, how do you determine a slack, those kind of things. That's what you need to know. So I want you to read the book on chapter 5, go through my videos, and that will give you all the things that you need for chapter 5.